Hey guys, it is Wingy here and welcome to my Q&A video that I said I was gonna do, and this is it. Now, here, you're watching it right now, this is the Q&A. I asked on my 2,000 subscriber special for some questions, so I'm gonna go through and answer them. Now, I'm gonna try and answer all of them, but if I don't answer your question, then that means that I will have already answered a similar question on my previous Q&A. So if you want to know the answer to a question that you asked for this one, but I didn't answer it here, it'll probably be in the last one. And if I miss any out, I apologise in advance. Anyway, let's get into it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Stephen Moffat's run on Doctor Who as showrunner? 5 out of 10, maybe? Look, I have issues with Moffat, like lots of people do, but I'm not someone that says he is the worst thing to ever happen to Doctor Who, because he's not. He's definitely done some good for the programme. He wrote some incredible stuff, he gave us 2 incredible Doctors. Series 5 is my favourite series from the new series, and even though he has sort of run the show into the ground now, I still can appreciate what he has done in the past, and even so, even in the worst series, he's still given us some decent episodes like Heaven Sent and World Enough in Time. But yeah, 5 out of 10. Do you support a football team? Yes, I do. I support Manchester United because my dad supports Man City and I like pissing him off. They also ask, have you seen Jodie Whittaker in Broadchurch? If so, what did you make of her? I haven't seen Broadchurch, and I haven't really seen Jodie Whittaker in much stuff anyway, so I can't really comment on her acting ability. 3 questions here. A spin-off with Nardole fighting the Cybermen, or a Lego Doctor Who game, but only with the 10th Doctor? I quite like Nardole, you know, so I wouldn't mind seeing that. 2, why are you smaller in real life? Look, I'm not a dwarf, right? I don't know if you're referring to my height, or which isn't that short, or if you're referring to my size, which is quite skinny. Like, I am ridiculously skinny in real life, and that is because I used to be fat, so I lost like 5.5 stone. I probably lost more weight than what I should have done, so that's probably why I'm a bit smaller in real life. 3rd question, Red Dwarf or Sherlock? Red Dwarf every day, man. Do you like Attack of the Cybermen? Yes, I do. My last video I said it was an underrated Doctor Who story. I love it. What do you think makes a good Doctor? E.g. funny, serious, dark, a mix. If their name's Tom Baker, pretty much. Now that's unfair, because I do think all the Doctors are great, but I think you need a mix of everything. You need to be a bit eccentric and have this otherworldly quality about you. You need to be a good actor, and I think you also need to be able to deliver the serious stuff and the funny stuff. Do you speak any languages? To be honest, mate, I struggle with English. Also, have you ever been / going to visit Ireland? I have been to Ireland. I'm half Irish myself. I don't know, I do want to go back to Ireland, but I don't really have anything in the pipeline where I would be going back to Ireland, so I don't know. Probably next year I'll aim to go. Do you own the special edition DVDs or just the original release DVDs? I own some of both. I think Talons of Weng-Chiang, I have both. Resurrection of the Daleks, I have both. Some of them I just have the special edition, others I just have the standard one. Like the 5 Doctors, I just have the first release. Have you watched the James Bond movies? If so, which is your favourite and least favourite movie? I have seen a few of them, but I'm not really a Bond fan, to be quite honest with you. I've never really been a fan of them or that genre of film, so favourite and least favourite, I really don't know. Hi Wingy, my question is, what is your worst episode of the new series other than Hellbent? Maybe the Crimson Horror, because I couldn't physically make myself watch the rest of it, but I mean there are some really shit ones, like Fear Her, I watched that again recently, terrible. Darkwater, Death and Heaven, The End of Time I still hate, Idiot's Lantern I think is just boring as hell. So yeah, there are a few. Hi Wingy, love the channel, thank you very much. My questions for the Q&A are, which companion would you like to travel with? Sarah Jane. Who is the sexiest companion? K9, easily. Joking aside, it's Perry. Best and worst Cyberman stories. The best one is Earthshock for me, and then the worst one, Closing Time. Will you do video on any of these, one for each Doctor's era, an overview of the Moffat era, a reaction / review video but on classic Who stories? It's something that I'm thinking about, so I'll possibly do it in the future. I don't know yet, I've got lots of different ideas. What are your fears and worries for series 11? Oh boy, this is a video all in itself. My main worry is that because we now have Jodie Whittaker, the first female Doctor, that is what she's going to be, the female Doctor. I don't want them to make a massive big deal of it, because there is a lot of shit in Doctor Who recently that is just blatant sexism towards men and misandry and all that sort of stuff, and I don't want that. I don't want it to become this, aren't women awesome? Because yeah, they are, but that's not really the point of Doctor Who. Just write good entertaining stories, just make sure the character is the same character that we have had for the past 50+ years. Make it enjoyable, make it something that I actually look forward to watching, you know? Kind of like how Bill had to say every 5 seconds that she was a lesbian. I don't want a repeat of that. I don't want the Doctor to just be like, oh well, I'm a woman now. Yeah, great, get on with it, kill some Daleks. What has annoyed you most about about Moffat. Mine is using the same ideas every series, like killing the companion then bringing them back to life. Keep up the good work, Wingy. Thank you very much. That is definitely one of mine as well, killing him off and bringing him back. I said in my Series 10 review, that really wrecked the Doctor Falls. I thought that was terrible bringing Bill back. He should have just left her as a Cyberman. My main thing for me isn't really his writing, it's him himself, because of the way that he acts, like the way that he speaks on panels and stuff. Like, he is so up his own arse and he just talks down to fans. There's some panels with him where I'm just like, you are supposed to be a professional. That is not acceptable. And the fact that what he'll do is he will just not listen to what fans want and he will do the exact opposite just to piss them off. Whether or not that's his intention, I don't know, but it comes across like that, to be quite honest. Do you think the old graphics of classic Doctor Who are endearing or painful? They're endearing, of course they are, and to be fair, not all of them are bad. Like, people say that it's all shit. It isn't. There are times where I'm like, oh dear God, why? But then again, you have to think of, like, at the time it was probably great, or for budgetary reasons it had to be like that, but you know, not all the time they're bad. I think for the most part they hold up pretty well. Who do you think is the worst actor to play the Doctor in the modern era, ranked best to worst? Oh, that's tough because they are all great actors. Now, this is quite weird because I have seen all of these guys in other things, so I'm not just judging them based on their performance as the Doctor. I'm gonna go best Capaldi because I love him in the thick of it, and I've seen him in quite a few other things as well. I think he is phenomenal as an actor. Then I'm gonna go Tennant because I've seen him in quite a few other things and he is a phenomenal actor. Like, I know I don't necessarily give the 10th Doctor the most praise, but as an actor, David Tennant is probably next after Capaldi. Then I'll go for Eccleston because he's just great, and then I'm gonna have to go for Matt Smith because he's probably been in the least stuff that I've seen, but they're all great actors. If you could make your own Doctor Who monster, what would it be like? I think I would just make it like with the Daleks, something that just isn't human, nothing remotely human about it, because all the others, like the Sontarans, the Ice Warriors, the Cybermen, they all have some like humanoid quality to them, whereas the Daleks don't. So I would aim to do something like that. I don't know specifics what I would do, but something like that. What is your view on communism? I don't really think about it, to be honest. Have you ever worn orange socks? Yeah, I think so. If you could be invisible for 1 hour, what would you do and why? Oh, I don't know. I've often thought about being invisible. Sometimes I think I am actually invisible as well in real life. What would I do though? I don't know, probably rob a bank. And why? Because money. Are you excited for Doctor Who 2018, Jodie's run as the Doctor? Also, what are you excited about? Am I excited? No, not really. I'm not necessarily like, oh no, I'm never watching this again. But I'm sort of in the camp of I'm cautiously optimistic that it will be alright, because I know there's a lot of backlash about it, and I myself was someone who said, nope, I don't like this, I don't want this. But I think what will sort of settle my nerves maybe is also the thing that I'm most excited about, and that's seeing her costume. We haven't seen it yet. The one in that little clip where she was announced, nope, that's not her costume, she said it herself. I think once I see her costume, that's when I can sort of make my mind up. I don't want something that's overly feminine, you know, I don't want a skirt or a dress or high heels or anything like that, low cut top cleavage, all that. I don't want that. I want something gender neutral like all the other Doctor's costumes have been, really. Do you think that New Who should do a TV version of Lungbarrow? Yes, I really like that story. That is one of my favourite like new adventure novel stories. I think it's great. Would the new series be right for it though? I don't think so. Do you think it's too late for the 8th Doctor TV spin-off, and do you want one? Yes, of course I want one. And is it too late? Nah, is it fucked? Paul McGann still looks good, so why not? Do you think the 2nd and 3rd Doctors should come back in the 60th anniversary played by different actors, like with what they're doing with the 1st Doctor this Christmas? No, I do not. I don't like David Bradley playing the 1st Doctor. Don't get me wrong, he plays it well, but I don't like them recasting Doctors, because the 1st Doctor's William Hartnell, the 2nd Doctor's Patrick Troughton, the 3rd's John Pertwee, and so on. I think it's rather dangerous if you set a precedent of just recasting the older Doctors. I just feel uncomfortable with it, to be quite honest. Do you think Doctor Who is becoming too PC, and do you think that is one of the reasons why people have switched off? Pretty much. It's not the only reason. The writing has been terrible, you know, in terms of the plots and stuff, but yeah, that is one reason, and that is one reason why I'm terrified about this new series with Jodie Whittaker. You know, there's so many sort of lines, like I pointed out in this Hellbent reaction, that there's just lines that you couldn't get away with it if it was said the other way around, and I don't mind equal opportunities and, you know, women in TV, or gay people in TV, or black people in TV. I don't mind that, but just don't shove it down our throats, because it isn't relevant, you know. If a character's gay, big deal. The character's black, big deal. The character's a woman, big deal. Just write them well. Do you think the gap between old and new Who created a rift between the fans? Yeah, a bit, but I think people are getting over it now. I think there are people that are just like, well, I watch classic Who, therefore you're not as good as me because you haven't seen the classic series. I might be one of them to a certain degree. But no, I do think that if you're one of those people that claims you're a Doctor Who fan and you don't even try to go back and watch the classics, then don't call yourself a fan. But there is definitely a rift there, as I've just proved. And do you think it damned the show in the long run? Not really. I think the shit writing damned it. What is your favourite favourite advert? I guess I like the Doctor Who adverts that Tom Baker and Lalla Ward did for Prime Computers. If you have the Destiny of the Daleks DVD, check them out. Or just YouTube it, they're there. They are so cringeworthy. Favourite quote from a TV or film?
There's no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes.
Have you seen the Emoji Movie? Fuck no, never gonna. Should there be a Doctor Who spin-off about Nardole since we know nothing about his past? No, I like that we don't know much about him, to be honest. What is your favourite Doctor Who DVD cover? Ooh, I'm just looking at some of the ones here, trying to figure out which ones I like. I quite like The Invasion of Time. Yeah, The Invasion of Time, I quite like that one. I like mine even more just because it's signed by Louise Jameson and John Leeson, but yeah, I've always been a fan of that one. Are You My Father? I don't know. What's your opinion on Ace and where would you rank her? I love Ace. I think she's great. Probably top 3. Ooh, no. I don't know specifically where, but she's definitely top 5. What do you think of the 11th Doctor? He is my favourite Doctor, partly because he was the first one that I saw, but when I looked, most people don't think of him as highly as I thought they did. I love Matt Smith. I think he's great. Until Capaldi came along, he was probably my favourite Doctor of the new series. How would you have written The End of Time and also Hellbent? Better than what they were. I don't know. Maybe not fuck about. Maybe just get on with a good story and not just mess everything up. Maybe not make the Doctor out to be a total and utter cunt. But specifics, I don't know. Do you prefer the 11th Doctor's look in series 5 to 7A or his 7B look? 7B. Easy. That is pure Doctor right there. What's a new series only monster you'd like to see return? I quite like the Jadoon, to be quite honest. I thought they were sort of wasted a bit. If you could have edited the episode Doomsday to fit your liking, what would you have done? I'd have made the Cybermen not to be total and utter pussies. I'd have actually done something with them. I'd have had them destroy the Daleks, or at least some of them. I'd have taken out a lot of the shit at the end with Rose and the Doctor. I think if she just goes through that portal, that's it. Just let her go through. Don't let Pete come and save her. Just let her fall through. That's it. We don't need that stupid long scene on the beach. Amazing channel, keep up the hard work, and your Tom Baker impression is epic. Well, thank you very much. That was probably shit. If Clara appears in the Christmas special, will it make no sense because he doesn't know her? Well, yeah, pretty much. There's no need to bring her back. We don't need her back again. She's come back how many fucking times? Do you hate the people who are rude to you for not liking the female Doctor when we are all just saying our opinion and we are not rude in the first place? I don't hate them, I just think that they're idiots. Some of the same people that said Peter Capaldi was too old to play the Doctor are the same people that are saying, oh my god, it's about time we had a woman. And it's just like, well, you can't say that shit about Capaldi being too old and then have a go at me for saying I don't like the idea of a gender swap, which, to be honest, is a much more dramatic change. I think there's extremes on both sides. I think people who like the idea, some of them are wrong. They're just like, well, if you don't like it, then you're a dickhead. It's like, well, no, because I don't have to like it straight away. I haven't seen anything yet, and it is the biggest change in the show's history. But then again, there's people that don't like it, who are just like, that's it, I'm done, I'm never watching the show again, it's dead. I'm just like, give it a chance. Like, I may not like it, but I'm gonna at least watch it and give it a try. If I don't like it, then I'll stop. Yeah, but I'll at least said, well, I tried it, but it's not for me. What do you think of them only looking for a female Doctor? I think that's stupid, to be honest. I think it's too late to bring in a female Doctor. I think if they'd have done it in the classic series and sort of chop and changed every now and again, I don't think there would be an issue. I think it is literally just for the sake of political correctness. I could be wrong, I don't know, but from where I'm sitting, it looks like that. Hopefully not. I want to be proved wrong, but I just think it's too late and they shouldn't have done it. I think it's too big of a risk, especially when the show is at the point that it's at. Do you think the 12th Doctor's era is the worst of the modern series? Yeah, I do. Capaldi is incredible. There's some great episodes in there, but overall, when you watch it from back to front, it's fucking shit. And Capaldi deserves so much more. You know, the fact that he's saying in interviews now that he wouldn't come back for the 60th or something, don't blame him. You know, he's a long-time fan and he left the series, I think, not feeling too happy with his era. And if I was him, I wouldn't either. It was awful for the most part, you know. Some great stuff in there, like I say. He was phenomenal. That's it. Capaldi was the only good thing about his era. Do you think Missy acted nothing like the Master because she did no evil plans at all? Pretty much. I mean, there wasn't any sort of big overall evil schemes that the Master was doing when it was Michelle Gomez. So, yeah, I mean, the characterization was off and she didn't do anything, you know. It was like little bits within episodes, but that's not what the Master is. The Master should be the main centerpiece, not just give the Doctor an army of Cybermen or kiss him or something stupid like that. What TV show would you want to clash with Doctor Who? I'm assuming you mean crossover. I don't really know. I think Doctor Who and Star Wars would be cool. I know it's not a TV show, but yeah, probably Star Wars. What are your favourite type of Daleks? These two. Love them. If you only had your own TARDIS, where would you go and why? I'd love to go to World War II. I've always been fascinated by it, and I've been watching a lot of Goodnight Sweetheart recently as well, so that's set partly in World War II. So I'd love to go back there. I'd also love to go to the 70s, maybe go to the future as well. Are you a sports fan? If so, what are your favourites? Football's the only one that I really watch. England and Man United, that's about it really. If you could appear in one Doctor Who episode, which one would it be? Ooh. Depends who I would be. Like, what would I be in the episode? That's the thing. Would I just be like a background character or something? The 5 Doctors, just because there's loads of shit going on. So if I wanted to be anything like a Cyberman or a Dalek or whatnot, I could be. What, in your opinion, is the best Doctor Who moment? I mean, there's over 50 years worth of stuff. How can you pick just one? This is going to be a bit of a cop-out because it's not specifically one moment, but I really love the scenes between the Doctor and Davros. Doesn't matter which Doctor, doesn't matter which actor's playing Davros. Usually it's phenomenal. What was your reaction to when the curator steps out? Pretty much like this. This 50th has been incredible. I mean, we've seen the new Doctor before he's even become the Doctor. We've seen all the Doctors save Gallifrey. We've had John Hurt as the Doctor. We've had the 10th Doctor back. What more stuff could they possibly do?
I could retire and be the curator of this place.
You know, I really think you might.
And that appears to be the last question that I can see, so if I've missed any out then I apologise, but thank you guys very much. That was a loud clap. Thank you guys very much for your questions. Hopefully I'll do another one in the future. I probably will, because I like doing these. They're sort of like a nice chilled out video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it, comment down below on what I don't know. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff on my channel, because I have other videos coming like Doctor Who, Marvel, Star Wars, DC, all that kind of stuff. I'm back now properly, and yeah, if you do that then I would love you forever. But until next time guys, you take care of yourselves. Goodbye. Oh, fucking knackered after that.